Hello, everybody. What's up? What's up? My name is Brianna, and I'm here to talk about authenticity. Um, yeah, this is me getting everything out, hoping to help, and um, yeah, just releasing things and also informing people. So, I want to talk about authenticity and or somebody's true nature or true energy, and how it is a good thing that we're all different, but we don't all encounter the good different. Or um, I'm speaking from a place of that for me. So, yeah. Authenticity is to be original, right? To be yourself, to be everything that you are as you are, wholeheartedly, freely, happily. Um, but I think let me just back up a little bit. People who are not of good nature, or toxic people, or bad people, or ugly spirited, ill spirited people, however you name it, call it, or know it as. Um, what is of their nature is to see you low, stuck, and malleable and submissive. And so, what is of their authenticity is not good. And they have recreated this thing, they have recreated the world and everything that we know and everything that we thought had a, a so for sure definition. It is all for their security. Because here we are talking about authenticity and purity, or what it is to be your pure self or your natural self, or your true nature or your true energy, right? To be yourself. And it has been generalized so that we overlook things. And that's kind of how toxic people want it. Because if you get specific and not in a shallow way that will go back to the generalizations, you would bring about the layers, the depth, right? And that will bring accountability. And they don't want that. They will lose control. They will lose their image that they put up about being good, smart, perfect, healthy, right, all knowing, and whatever else, right? So just to go back a little bit before we go forward. So now, everybody being their authentic self, themselves. I want people to be themselves. I want people to understand that you need to be yourself. And, you need to allow people to be themselves. And don't overlook it. Don't overlook what is present for potentiality. Don't overlook specifics for the generalizations and the shallow portrayals. The gloss over of things. Be yourself, right? That's the main thing. But person to person, it is so different. And that is a good thing. But I'm speaking from trauma. I'm speaking from hurt. I'm speaking from not the good different. And what is good for everybody, right? What is for you, what is different for other people, right? What it means to be for you is what it means to be, is not what it means to be for somebody else. So for toxic people, hurtful, harmful people, ugly, ill-spirited people, they want you to be stuck. They want you to be hurt. They want you to not be yourself because they won't have a rag doll. They won't have a plaything. They won't have a doormat. They won't have whatever inanimate object you can think of. I've even heard a psychologist talk about a coffee machine, or like a Keurig, and how I love you so much because you do so much for me. And it's like what's going on in their head, like the true thought of their head is like, please hurry up and get out this coffee. Please make the best coffee because I do not want to go through another K cup. Just please make this coffee. And then after they turn the Keurig off, it's like, thank God I don't got to deal with that thing until the next time I got to deal with that thing. And so that's really sad how you think of people as nothingness, or you easy to discard and mold and groom and manipulate and indoctrinate. And it's like they know that you're human because they have to indoctrinate you because you're being yourself, right? You're knowing who you are. But then it goes into, the other aspect of it, which is you exist for them. And that is who they are. They don't think well. They can know. They can experience. They can have the upbringing. They can have, they are self-aware. Don't get it twisted. They are self-aware. They may feign ignorance and weaponize religion and incompetence, and other things. But they are aware. That only shows that they are aware, because you cannot be unaware while being present and coherent and active. There's no way. So either you are a fool or you're a fool, because there's no way that you don't know what you're doing as you're doing something, highlighting that there's something that was done but it wasn't you. So yeah. So them being themselves is, I feel like I'm drawing blanks because I thought about this like crazy. Like I thought about it like really deeply. And now I feel like I'm drawing blanks, but what it is for you is not what it is for other people. And we need to, I guess I'm gonna get back into it as I ramble. But yeah, what is good and godly and what is natural, or what they say is basic biology, it is not. Not for me, not for you, not for other people. And I laugh because if you know what that comes from, you know how very fucked up it is and how it only perpetuates harm onto different groups and intersections of people, intersectionalities. And yeah. So authenticity and normalcy and true nature, or somebody's true nature and energy, what it is and what is good, right? What is perfect. These are people, I'm trying to think of examples or experiences. They want to be so good so bad, doing the worst of things, and they won't hide it. They don't hide it, and they won't hide it. It's just a matter of time and place, as they say. Because if you get them pissed off enough, they're going to tell you. Or if they are more on the aggressive end, they are not hiding it. They are not hiding it. They speak, you listen, and they don't repeat themselves. If they have to repeat themselves, it's a problem. Because it's already a problem that you are having them highlighted. But they are very confident. They are very big-headed about themselves. Very locked in. So, yeah. I want people to understand that what is pure, what is good, what is normal, what is true is not all good. And when it comes to religion and philosophy and history, and when people say nature versus nurture, I think people, because of toxic people rewriting history and religion and things that are there to educate us and give us clarity, we think that everything is good and it would overlook them. And that's what they like, because if they can go through the world removing suspicions, that is what they will do. But they just need control, and so they have it now. And so people are going forward with the definitions and the words and the distortions and the connections that they have made up, that they have recreated, that they have distorted and manipulated, that they have altered. And because it's this thing where, oh, we're all born good, but sometimes people just fall through the cracks and we need to help them. Sometimes people just sometimes it's not nature, it's nurture. It's how they were raised, and you can give grace to them and you can give them another chance and all of these different things, because it removes suspicion and it keeps them in control. And they could keep doing what they're doing, and you could keep giving them passes, and they could keep doing it so seamlessly. It removes accountability. It removes self-trust, self-defense, and self-belief, and self-confidence. It dwindles down your self-esteem. It distorts your perception of things. And it makes things all, toxically positive. It makes things so that there's only good fruits and rainbows, and we can paint the bad apple. We can turn the rods of lightning into stems of these tall flowers, and it is really, really fucked up. And they put connotations on words, that are, that when we realize that we've been through trauma, that it takes a long time to unlearn and break down and just throw away. There's so many different things that they've given meaning to that doesn't matter. There's definitions and titles that they have changed the definitions or made up entirely. That they throw around so loosely, like, this is your family, or this is the religion, or that's just the way it is, and this is your parent. And it's like, okay, well, because they like to throw around these titles. They like to uphold these titles and distort people's realities and fuck with people. So the crazy thing is I've always been thinking about this, like this comeback. It's like, if you're going to uphold this title or this status, you've given this only good, this toxically positive definition and breakdown to it, but you don't uphold it. You don't uphold it. Family is supposed to be about love and security, unconditional love, and being a parent. And it's so crazy how all of you lack the decency of being a good person to be a good parent. And you think that that's just supposed to be null and void because you've given only good definitions to being a parent, period, that you could overlook them being not a good person because they uphold a title that is, good or of goodness. And it's like, well, if it's supposed to be all about goodness, I don't think that you're being the good example of that, So, yeah, that's just what I've been thinking about, because it's just really, it just is so mind-blowing. And I really want people to understand that you're not here. And that's another thing. They want you to be responsible for them, because it goes into them having that control over you, because you are very, very vulnerable. You can't hold strong when you're being stretched thin. So you're constantly vulnerable to be violated. And controlled, and they want that. So they give you their burdens. They give you their responsibilities. They give you their consequences. But they want all of the benefits of the title, the status, the freedom, right? Of money, of time, of location, of parties, or whatever it is, right? And that's not your shit. That's not your consequences. That's not your karma. That's not your person. That's not your mind, body, and spirit. That's theirs. Give it back to them. Return it back to them. Whatever it is, give it back to them. That is not yours. That is not your burden to bear. That is not yours. You are not responsible for other people. You are a living being and they are living beings. And you are not going to be as though you are enmeshed or binded. Right? Or as they put in religion, they say you become one flesh when they have gotten you to be their spouse. Don't do that. You are still your own person. You are worthy of freedom as well. You are worthy of going out and living your life and being abundant and being loved on. It is about reciprocity. So when there is one-sidedness or hyper-independence and codependence instead of independence and interdependence, where you're being yourself and you can call on one another, leave. Do not be where you are tolerated, unwanted, and then being made responsible for their bullshit, and that is the way that they love you. That's what they say. That's how they love you. That's how they care. That's how they show up. Let people be who they are, and you be who you are, and know your worth, and know where you need to be, because you know who you are, and you know who you don't need to be around. You know where you don't need to be. And just to give a little bit of, little side tangent, I guess. It was very affirming for me when I was either told or shown different points in my life, you don't belong here. This is not for you. We don't want you involved. That was so affirming for me. It is fucked up, but they want you to think that you need to do something to be their peon, to be their workhorse, to be their rag doll, to be the perfect puppet. But when you realize who you are, who the hell would want to be treated like that? And then being told that that's just the way that they love. Being mistreated, being dismissed, being traumatized, and then being gaslit that that's not what your reality was, and that's not who you know for it to even happen, and that's not what happened. Don't do that. That was that is very it was very affirming for me. So be yourself and allow people to be themselves and move accordingly. And I always say that, move accordingly, move how you need to, because it's about your safety and your security. And if these authentic people's, this is who they authentically are. Energy is infinite. It is not created. It is not destroyed. It is as it is all the time. And so it will be. And so it will continue to be. Infinitely. And so it's not that I'm waiting for the title to stop running. So yeah, energy is it is infinite, right? This is who they are. And this is who they are always going to be. They just haven't gotten to the more aggressive or fucked up things yet. Not that they won't. And it probably what they say, that's not of their taste. That's not of their caliber. It's not that they won't, but you haven't pushed them there yet. And it's so crazy that you are not the one that pushes them to that certain level, but they are constantly pushing you beyond your margins. They are spreading you thin. They are making you so you need to be malleable, you need to be flexible, you need to be a team player. Go along to get along. Don't worry about it. Be a blind follower. Don't ask questions. Right? Don't be curious. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Don't be don't rain on the parade. Don't be a negative Nancy. But it is so crazy. And then they say that you're the one pushing them to the limits. Oh God. But let them show their true colors. And you do whatever you need to do. There are resources available. There are YouTube videos about not being associated with them, not engaging with them, not holding up conversation with them, being as emotionless as possible. Whether good or bad, do not tell them, because this is who they authentically are. So they are going to be manipulative. They're going to put you down because they need to be uplifted. So yeah, you're not responsible for other people. Let people be who they are, and don't let them advertise to you that you need to be responsible for them, that you need to let them back into your life, and that this is what you are supposed to allow and endure. That's not it. You are your own mind, body, and spirit, and they are their own mind, body, and spirit, and you are not responsible for them, and they have shown you who they are. Believe them. Believe the mind, body, and spirit that sat before you and said that you need to let them back into your life or get another chance because of potentiality or what could happen in the future, or fake change, or an empty promise, or something that you really want. They know exactly what to say. They know exactly what to say. Because this is who they are. They get in where they fit in so that they could do what they need to do in a very flawless way, or hopefully flawless way. So yeah, and they have recreated a lot of things so that it goes their way in a more flawless manner. And it is really fucked up because that is what we have been brought up on. That is what we have been educated about. That is what we have known. And that is kind of what we do, and without realizing that it is trauma on a familial level, on a spousal level, on a employee to employer level, employer, CEO, whoever it is, on a workspace level, societal level, religious, and all of these different aspects. Like, all they need is a shoe in, and that's all it takes. They say you need the faith of a mustard seed. Well, whatever seed is smaller, that's the little bit of crack of space that they need in the window. That's all that they need. And so you need to really be more of yourself, be responsible for yourself, and stand firm in your boundaries. Your no means no, and your no turning back is no turning back. So be discerning, be careful with yourself, because you are worthy and you are sacred. And yeah, let people be themselves and take it all in the first time and make the decision for the only time. Yeah, I think that's everything that I want to say. And be well and take care.